So if you've been following this series on the basics of how a car works, we started off talking about what we need for power production, and we spoke about the engine. We ended up with rotational power being produced from the engine to this flywheel, and then we started talking about the processing power after the production, the processing part, which is where we came to the transmission, manual and automatic. And in the last video, I promised you that once we process this power, we're going to send it to the wheels and then we can take our car out during lockdown. But now you come back to this video and you see this mysterious box here with the question mark, and you're like, wow, what? So this is the last step in this whole sequence of power production and power processing before we send it to the wheels. It's called a differential system. What it does is basically takes the power that comes in from the transmission and splits it according to the needs, splits that power to both the wheels. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Welcome to the Buttman experiment. So before we even start learning about differentials, first question is why? Why are they even required? It's a good question. So let us say for now there's no differential system, right? How does that look? So say this is the drive shaft, this guy. The drive shaft, there's no differential, so just a straight open axle that connects both the wheels. So power comes in because there's no differential system, equal amount of power goes to both wheels. So this sort of system is fine only if you're driving along constantly and only on a straight road, so that power comes in, power equally distributed, and both turn same, go straight. That's fine. When is it ever the case that you're only ever going straight? I mean, it's a car, not train. So let's consider this this situation where you're taking a left turn and you're using this system which has no differential. So when you're taking a left turn, this tire becomes the inside wheel and this becomes the outside. So for left turn, naturally, if they're connected by a strict rod, this outside tire has to travel a bigger distance at a faster speed just to catch up with the inside tire. And when that happens and it's a straight rod and there's no independent movement, what happens is we tend to lose the traction and it just gets a bit messy with the handling and stuff like that. So you would really benefit from having a differential system in here. So then how does it work? Obviously this is not 3D animation, this is 2D whiteboard, so I'm going to need you to use your imagination a little bit, but we're going to do the best we can by introducing our characters here. The pinion gear brings in the power from the drive shaft. The ring gear accepts the entire power onto the differential system. The bevel gears on both sides take away power, transfer the power onto their wheels. So the story is playing out such that obviously now the spider gear is the one that ends up making the decision as to which bevel gear gets how much power, so that the wheels turn in whatever way, left turn, right turn, etc. So the way the spider gear works, it can move in two ways. Because it is connected to the ring gear here, it is attached, like mounted to the ring gear, it can move just freely with the ring gear, or it can also rotate on its own axis. So it can move like this, but because it is attached, it can just move with the ring gear as well. Okay, so use cases, let's say, first case, you're going straight, just going straight down the road like this, but with the differential system as well. So what happens is, going straight, what happens here is, pinion gear gives us the power, ring gear accepts the power, the spider gear doesn't move on its own axis, it just moves with the ring gear, and because it is in mesh with the bevel gears on the side, it just keeps going around like this, transferring the same equal amount of power to both bevel gears. So N left and N right just means the number of turns left gear turns and the number of right gear turns. So when it's going straight, N left is equal to N right. and the car just goes straight. And if you want to take a left turn like this, left turn equals what should be n right should be greater than n left, right? Because n right, this guy has a lot more to travel, so n right should be greater than n left. For that, the spider gear turns clockwise as well. So while it is in mesh and transferring power, it is also turning clockwise. So clockwise spider plus in mesh gives us n right greater than n left. And obviously, if you want right turn, right turn, n left greater than n right, and spider anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, and in mesh gives the left more revolutions, so that you can get that going. So that is the differential system, a clever little way of splitting the power between two wheels and keeping them sort of independent. But there is a problem here, because the way we do it, the way we split the power, is the power goes to the path of least resistance. Now, why is that a problem? Because let me give you this scenario. Say you're driving along with this differential system, all good. Say it had rained in the morning, but the road is drying out, but it's a dry but sort of wet patches kind of road. So let's say you're driving along, there's a wet patch here. The right wheel goes on to the wet or ice or whatever. The right wheel suddenly loses all traction and the left wheel is fine. Right tire hits the wet spot, loses all traction, while the left is fine, and because of that, the right tire becomes the path of least resistance, and the differential says send the right tire the most power, which is a horrible idea in this scenario, because you're already on a wet, the tire is on a wet spot, and you're sending it maximum power. It's just going to make it spin out of control. So worst thing you could do at that point. To solve this problem, we have something called LSD, which is limited slip differential. It is an extension of the normal open differential that we just spoke about. So anyway, this differential system sits in a housing, and what the LSD does is puts pressure plates on both sides here, so that when this use case does happen, when we hit a spot of ice or a water spot puddle with one of our wheels, and it loses traction, becomes the path of least resistance, the differential sends it the most power, and it starts to slip. These pressure plates are there to sort of loosen up and takes away some of that torque going into that wheel, so that it limits that slip. So a limited slip differential basically limits slip. These naming conventions. And that brings us to the end of this video. Today we've done differentials. What is a differential? Why is it required? What is LSD? All of that. And I'm glad to say we finally finished the last piece of our puzzle. Power production, power processing. Finally the last piece of processing before we actually have power in these wheels. So that's good news. You can take your car out. So thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Bye.